amongst all 10 teams. We're not talking about Rise teams. So I'm glad you point that out. I do think that Hype and Palu need to step it up. Hype did have a very nice performance on the Kai'Sa in that big comeback against DNF. But again, that was against DNF, who were kind of struggling. Can they actually do it up against someone like Diablo? Because last time out, it wasn't exactly that close.
Yeah. Pantheon required. I think Azir might also be required. But that Wukong, I'm kind of feeling like this needs to make its spot in this list. It won again earlier today. Ban the Vi instead, so I don't think the Wukong is going to make it, which means, well, Krako is probably already, you know, he clicked the jungle icon. He's already like,
he's doing his runes.
Down,
he's like, okay, what am I going this game?
Let's see what this final ban is. Here's the Varus, which is a strong response, is gone. The Gwen, that has been really rising quite a lot in popularity, has also been taken away. And they'll take away the Nocturne. Seen a lot of really combo-based play with the Orianna, etc., even Aurora on this. So Azir or Wukong, and then give them Azir. I feel like you probably will ban the Azir in this case. Although I think you should have banned Wukong and then Azir and not ban Vi. Vi is good, especially with it in the Rise group. Like Vi is OP.
Yeah,
but
Vi goes way up in value for sure. Aurora.
Okay, so we're doing a little trade action, a little trade deal.
Aurora didn't see any looks in our first series. No bans, no picks, nothing. And that's kind of interesting because Aurora is quite strong, actually.
It was insanely popular last week. It was taken the week by storm. And it's not like she was really tapped on this patch at all either, so I think it's a wise ban if you're going to trade. The Azir is opted into over the Wukong. And what comes with the Wukong?
I almost wrote Wukong in Morgan's spot on my sheet. I'm like, I am so convinced that it should be Wukong.
Vikla looking better. I'm not going to lie to you guys and say that Vikla's suddenly like a top 4 mid laner in the LCK, but looking better on the Azir in particular. So maybe that's part of why they decided to deny it. Wukong is going to go over to Raptor. And they can just go Wukong Rumble if they want to. Feels like a pretty strong rotation here.
You can go Wukong Orianna, you can go Wukong Annie, you can go Wukong Talia.
Wukong Rakan? Oh, Poppy's still up. Probably not that one.
Wukong Poppy?
I think Wukong
There's the Rumble. Okay.
For a second, it looked like it was an insta-lock of the Alulu, which would have been really interesting. Looking for a strong bottom lane here.
And there's no Aurora, by the way, for the Rumble, so...
Yeah. That's a really good point that you make. So they were super prepared to say, okay, if they take Azir, we have this strong R1, R2. It's a really good point you bring up, because it feels pretty free here. There's no Gwen either.
Ornn.
Ornn is a soft counter to the Rumble, although it is a auto-lose early game prio.
Are they going to play Sivir too? Just like lock Sivir now. Just like, okay, we're playing for late game, guys. It's Rise group.
I do think they probably will. The only other pick that comes to mind, but I think is too risky blind, even though you can protect it, is the Senna. Okay. Interesting. We picked Ornn and also Trundle.
Trundle is not good into Wukong.
No. We talked about this earlier in the draft. They must have been listening to the Korean commentators. I'm not saying the Korean commentators said that it wasn't, but they didn't say it at all probably because it's pretty obvious, you know? The Talia, on the other hand, feels very good with the rest of BNK's composition.
Yeah.
And also quite good into Trundle, who kind of has to run at you, and when you put the rocks on the ground or put the shove towards him, it hurts his chances of doing so.
I wonder what they want to pick, Wolf.
Yeah, I think
with
they
the Poppy ban
might be trading a Poppy ban for Rakan here. If I had to guess, Valdez. Alistar, of course, will be banned first, but then the Rakan will follow.
Yes. Please. I really hope so. I really do.
That does leave Nico open, which is also kind of insane for this comp here for BNK.
Yeah. A little bit less synergy with the Wukong, but
these are the
still has synergy.
These are the moments for Bro in drafting where I go, are they still being a little bit dragged down by Morgan's champ pool a little bit here, where he just wants to play Ornn in this situation, which empowers his ear, and then...
Well, he didn't have to play Trundle, Wolf.
No. Well, like, when I look at what BNK has, I go, okay, there's a lot of power here, even in the late game. You know, even if the scaling is online for the Azir and he has an ornament, that doesn't mean you win by default. Like, it's so much easier to play what BNK have. They shouldn't have also Rakan on top of it. Surely. Surely.
As you mentioned, the Nico's there too. Maybe they want to take one of them, right? But you're still giving premium supports over to this composition that we've seen many times.
Just because you don't have the Xayah doesn't mean you can't play the Rakan. And you still will have an answer to the 80 carry.
Yeah.
Or, actually, this makes sense in this draft, though. This is a way better angle for Yunara than what we saw earlier today. Really, so far, vulnerable to potentially an Ornhorn, but if you're an 80 carry getting caught by that, you got bigger problems than the champ you're playing. If you are getting caught by an Azir ult, a little bit more forgivable. But see what the answer is going to be here. Like, Varus is gone. I don't think you want to play Kalista. Lucian is probably the best bet. And they will lock that in straight away. Lucian, Braum. And in this matchup, I think the loss of that 7 armor probably isn't really going to hurt you too much. And maybe we just get another Yunara Lulu. You know, it empowers the Wukong quite heavily.
Just play Rakan.
You can just play Rakan. It's not going to be as great in the lane.
Yeah.
But you can just sustain through it. And it's amazing for team fights. But like the fact that you have two great options means that I think you're winning this draft super hard.
They had the Nico as well. Like, it just felt like BNK were in control of this draft the entire time. You know?
I mean, Bro's draft feels like it was so good 2.5 weeks ago. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah. Back then we were like, oh yeah, Trundle's peak right now. We're seeing all sorts of Ornn this year. It's scaling.
Yeah. I mean, if they went Sivir instead of Trundle, I'd be on board. I'd be like, okay, you guys have an idea, right? You're all in the same direction. We're doing the same thing. It makes sense.
Because I mean, even the Lucian,
we got this.
The Lucian, there's no tank really on the other side. Like he could burst somebody down. It could work, right, in theory. But Bro just kind of, I feel like, pieced together a patchwork quilt, whereas BNK are like, I press the R buttons. And also, Yunara's on our side.
Chad.
Can you get to our Yunara through Wukong? I don't know if they will.
It's just like how Zeri is great with comps like this, or, you know, you just kind of press your buttons in the direction, and that tanks, right?
Daystar hanging out, and some of the other Challengers players, I believe. Sobero, that's who it was I recognized there.
And Roller. There you go. We got the whole list. We did it. And, yeah, we'll see if Bro can still make it work. Again, anything is possible. Anything is possible in the Rise group. We'll see what the execution looks like here after this draft for game number 1. Let's hop into the rings. All right, game number 1. Bro versus BNK, the rematch from last Thursday.
Yeah, very recent.
Gonna have a lot of these repeat matchups because we have the same teams playing each other 3 times instead of 2 in the new format.
Vikla not quite hitting most of those.
Krako is angry, and they're gonna get the flash out of Vikla, if not the kill. Yeah, they're just gonna get the kill. That is a very strong Trundle just running at them and pressing Q. OP.
Yeah, very strong with the Braum at level 1, the heal to speed up. I was like, maybe Burleaver's having a bit of tempo vibes. Look, I wasn't here last week. I'm just going to say it a little bit, okay? Like, I have my tempo vibes day, okay?
Don't worry.
Atlas isn't even here today.
Are you casting again this week?
I'm back tomorrow.
Back tomorrow with me. We're just doing the back-to-back? That's crazy.
Tempo vibes are with us.
We got the tempo vibes caster combo right now. I just thought, you know, maybe you'd get a chance to cast with Atlas, and then in that case, you'd be hearing it a lot. So
yeah, well,
you have a lot of opportunities as well.
As the tempo vibes expert, I would just defer to his knowledge.
Yeah. I just pretend to know what he means.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing all day.
Yeah.
Well, that threaded volley from Vikla didn't hit that much, which I think limited the slow, which allowed for that to happen. But he would have loved to just back away a little bit faster and get that flash over the wall. He dies. It's a kill for Krako. It's a nice level 1. Raptor loses his flash, but at the end of the day, how much this really matters, as we're going to watch this again from Krako's first person.
That's illegal.
Yeah.
That's actually illegal. To dash in against Trundle Braum, no.
I mean,
Not allowed.
he still gets away.
Yeah, he did. It's true. Raptor did get away. And that's why anything is possible in the Rise group.
Yeah. I don't know if that should have led to Morgan also getting a pretty huge lead in the early part of this lane phase. Like, I've been one of those guys always, even in my earlier LCK time where I wasn't always sure, but I've been one of those guys, whenever someone says it's a hard counter, I always go, well, let's wait and see. A lot of people have been saying Ornn's a hard counter to the Rumble, but the early levels for Rumble often goes heavily in favor of the Rumble. This laning phase right now, not so much. Morgan has shown himself to be quite a capable Ornn and already has that early null magic mantles. That's going to help him out a lot. Part of why this matchup feels good is all-in opportunity is denied.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Lucian Braum offers. Still a very strong duo, and they had Trundle on the bottom side of the map, so they're confident to press their buttons and go forward. And now they're going to go ahead and help Krako get this Scuttle Crab, so not half bad. We see Raptors in mid, just saying hello and then running away.
Indeed. I see Raptor will get that top scuttle. We keep watching Hype and Palu try to get the Lucian Braum value down here. And, you know, in this laning phase, they didn't pick the Lulu. So it's kind of just sitting back and not getting aggressive blowed if you can help it. Couldn't help it.
What is going to happen to Diablo many times. As he wants to step up, he wants to harass with the Rakan, but at the end of the day, the Lucian Braum, if that Q's going to land, you're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of how this goes, because the Rakan has no combat power, only defensive knockups.
Keeps landing the quills.
Yeah, he's healing him, so that's helpful.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's slow.
Pretty big, lots of damage coming in. Hype going to be pushed away. Diablo's still a bit low himself, though.
Yeah, Diablo didn't quite have his Q stacked up. If he has it there, I think he goes for it, tries to play aggressive. Doesn't have his Ghost anymore.
Yeah, Hype also up a Summoner. So at this point, I feel like they're just kind of saying, we're going to keep you at arm's length and not take a full fight and continue to try to harass.
He's a scribe with this quill accuracy, man. Let's see his calligraphy at this point. All right,
I'm excited.
Double gank here in the mid lane.
Whoa. Double gank.
Double gank all the way.
Yeah, what's the coolest? Double gank, double rainbow, or double dragon?
Double dragon for sure.
Double dragon.
Yeah. Let's see if one of these teams can secure that early on. Otherwise, yeah, Rumble doing well in this early laning phase in terms of the pressure. Doesn't have a CS lead, though. Morgan laning very well. As Diablo, once again, stacking his Q. He's like, is there a play angle? When that Braum Q misses, he's definitely thinking about it a little bit more, but decides to back away. They get the pressure relieved with this push. And we'll start the back, so I don't think Hype is interested in looking for a stop of the channel. And with this timing, you know, with the mid lane prio, they could try to go for an early dragon, but there's just not a whole lot of additional vision. That Scryer's Bloom will confirm no one else is on the Drake, and the lull state continues.
Yeah.
An early one, but
Bro
and brew.
You know, it's not quite Bro versus DRX, which is that's like the business class version of Bro and Brew, you know, like you get in the free lounge and you're feeling really good, like you're really relaxing, you're sitting back.
Yeah.
You're there for like 25 minutes because why not? This is like, you know, just a regular Bro and Brew. It's still good, but it's not quite Bro DRX good.
You press the lay flat button. Because you know you're not going to be on the edge of your seat anytime soon.
Yeah, you got a lot of time to hang out.
Pillar to a Wukong.
Yeah. Gonna actually go in here, bit of damage on Apollo, but that is still Braum. Raptor does have his flash, and it looks like he might have to use it here. As a little sweep onto Vikla, but it's only closer. He's just alone. Raptor does eventually flash over the wall. The wall here from the side of Vikla, though, newly created, is going to force the flash out of Apollo, as both teams a little bit reluctant to attack each other.
That's Rise Group, baby. It was a lot of abilities used without really a whole lot of conjunction with their teammates' abilities together. But it was a turn-based battle, and it ended up being a relatively even exchange at the end.
It really was turn-based, wasn't it?
I don't know how else to describe it. as the Trundle and the Wukong believers were probably like, I don't know, Valdez, in that draft you said it wasn't possible, but he got the first blood into Wukong and dashed into him, and then in that battle there was able to get his flash out.
Yes. He's ahead on gold.
He is ahead.
Yeah.
I don't know if there are any believers. I just made them up. Okay,
there are dozens of them.
We're ghosting?
Yeah, a harass zoning ghost here from Diablo, of course.
Remember Danny Phantom?
Yeah. He's going ghost.
That was the like edge of Nickelodeon for me, where I was like just barely like a little bit too old to watch it, but if it was on, I'd check it out, you know?
Yeah, you're like, oh, I wish I could watch SpongeBob, but this is on. Okay, I'll watch that.
I can't think of a newer show than Danny Phantom from Nickelodeon.
We're diving. Yeah, we got 4 members here. They would really love the Lucian. They're not going to get it.
And like Palu, I don't know if they're gonna get it either.
It's just like, they're like, oh, he got away. Okay, never mind. Now they're just going for the grab.
Palu's like, Hudor. And they're like, whoa, okay.
Whoa.
Vico's gonna miss some minions here, but we'll ultimately back away. It's a win for them. They didn't get the kills, but they get the top objective. Krako will get this Drake in return. But that was a lot of farm lost for Hype. He won't lose either summoner. He isn't going to die, but I still think in terms of who wins out on the tempo, it's B&K.
Yeah, that does feel good. We'll see if they can get any split pushing going with those grubs that they did get. As for now, it's still a relatively even game. First Drake, not the biggest steal in the world, but let's see how many Drakes Bro can stack up. As this matchup, you see, just builds a bunch of magic resist and tries to not die. As here comes Kellen. And Morgan still not going to die. Nor will he go for any action, of course. No real reason to.
+1 wave. Yeah.
Now is Morgan to just hold it. No.
Yeah.
Got to get it back in.
You're just going to hold it, slow her back. Don't have TP, seeing her options.
Wow, exhaust as well. Diablo says, I'm going to just ult this way.
Yeah, he certainly did, and he got away as Palu's Q didn't land. So, just a trade there of summoner or a unsealed exhaust for a ult. Feels like a trade up for Bro.
Yeah.
Although I don't know what it will necessarily mean, if anything. Hype has denied some CS and caught up in CS, taken a lead in CS. All right, I mean, once this crashes, it'll go back a little bit, but it's going to be about even. In fact, this game is real slow, huh, Valdez?
I liked your commentary of the waves and the CS, though.
Yeah, I mean, look at that.
Sometimes
like dead even.
I do sometimes wonder, like, what would it be like if we were commentators for T-sports, traditional sports? And then I just think about us casting this game, and it's just like a golf broadcast, and it's like, oh, I already know. Like, I already know what it's like to cast T-sports.
90% of a FIFA game.
Yeah.
Where, like, earlier when they went for the dive, we're like, he shoots. Oh, nice defense.
Good save there, as he's gonna pass it up the side, or whatever they call it.
If you take a look at the possession graph.
The possession graph. Yes, Bro is currently 51% possession at the moment in the 4th quarter.
Now, if we get a second dragon here for Bro, which, by the way, old Bro, like, Umpty Lava Bro, known for dragon stacking.
Yeah.
Then we get double dragon. But foreshadowing was put out there, and double dragon could happen.
Yeah, I knew it was coming. At some point, generally around 15 minutes into the game.
Now, if you
get
don't,
2 dragons.
If like for example, B&K gets the second dragon and then Bro gets the third dragon, that doesn't count as double dragon.
No.
I think we can actually establish this
Totally
right now.
different.
I think we just came up with a new term for a 2 Drake stack. It's now called double dragon.
Yeah.
We got something out of this early game. Finally, hell yeah!
We did it.
Double dragon.
Thank
That's
you,
a
Wolf.
thing.
Yes, we figured it out.
Can't double grubs or anything like that anymore. They sold that. Can't double herald anymore.
Yeah.
Double dragon though, it's a thing. That's why double dragon's the memorable one. That's why it was the best one of the things.
Can you double Baron?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't show up in the in the graph.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's not on the sheet. It's not on our list of stats.
No.
I mean, technically it is. In the post-game breakdown, if you take more than one Baron.
That's just called a consecutive Baron take. Or a 2 in the row.
All right.
Another ghost.
He's going ghost. He's ghosting in. And that's still Braum. But he got the heal. And the flash out of Hype, actually.
And
so that's pretty good.
Here, I mean, they have a stacked wave. Hold on, Hype.
Yeah, oh, Hype's in a lot of trouble here. And look at Paulo. He's like, yeah, you're dead. You're dead, buddy. I can't do anything to save you. So a 4-man dive here, going to get our second kill of the game. 13 minutes in.
I mean, it was not the most flashy tempo ghost, but it's enough to actually start to put that pressure on. Getting the flash out of Hype is massive, and they get the follow-up. As Closer will trade it for plates, but obviously the more plates going down here on the bottom side doesn't really feel like a win. It feels more like a consolation prize. And in fact, I mean, they can, with this wave, take the whole turret. 3 grubs. I mean, that is going to be first brick and a feat of strength.
Yeah, it's pretty big. Decent amount of farm here for the Inara as well.
So look at this again. Because Raptor's coming down here, he ghosts early, and then Hype has to flash. You know, the angle wasn't great for Kellen there, but he flashes for safety. And now tries to hold on to his turret, but with Vikla coming down, that's the big backbreaker here. It's like, well, Paulo just can't even be anywhere near. He'll just die for sure. Otherwise, maybe you try to make a play for that. But ultimately, Paulo just has to watch his AD carry die, and then the turret follows. It is looking like, however, Double Dragon. First Double Dragon.
First Double Dragon on the LCK.
Yeah.
Coming through. After the official renaming of the concept.
Boom, Double Dragon.
Double Dragon secured. And that is right before a Mountain Soul. So we're going to get another one of these.
Okay, so that's really good for both comps, but I would say definitely favors Bro. If they can, with this Ornn
for sure.
Trundle, stack up those shields. And just the resistances, obviously, as well, from that third one. It'll feel pretty good. But if a Wukong ends up getting, like, 3 later on, he's also going to be a big winner.
Yeah.
So I think we'll see a lot of action around Dragons, which at the pace of this game, at 2 kills in 15 minutes, I'm really hoping for.
By a lot of action, you mean, like, maybe +1 kill?
Yeah.
Potential, like, maybe 1 kill per Dragon, I think, is about the pace we're looking at here.
So, you know, this is the Bork build, by the way, for Diablo. We did not see this in the previous game. He went for the Yuntals to IE. This is the build where you try to skirmish a little bit more early. You try to spike earlier with 2 items. I think given that the enemy team has, air quotes, like the better scaling comp with the Azir and the Ornn, this does make sense. But I don't know if the build matters as much as can you kill the Yunara in skirmishes and in late game team fights. And Bro, we're going to have to answer that question with this comp that, engage-wise, has a Braum, a Trundle Pillar, and an Ornn, right? So there are some tools, but this is, compared to the last Yunara game we had, it feels like Diablo is like laughing, like, you guys try to catch me, try to take me out. I'm going to have such a free setup. And you can see it even in this angle here, like, Engage is so tricky with his comp. Equalizer might just be enough to deny them entry.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have a way through. They're going to try it with the pillar. There's the Braum as well. It's just Vikla who has to flash. They're going to go all in on the Vikla, but the seismic shove is huge to knock them back. And Vikla is saved for a very long amount of time. Raptor is going to pick up the eye, but he will pay for it. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, Clear and Diablo getting the work here, but they went a little bit too far. As now the sweep goes in on a Clear. He's doing a ton of damage. He's still alive. Clear lives. And Diablo finally is taken out, and it looks like big boy Trundle made his way back. That's a quadra kill for Trundle 16 minutes into the game.
Looked like a winnable fight there for BNK. Diablo lived for so long, but he's just still sitting on that Bork. Doesn't have the damage to hard carry the fight, although his flash into that Emperor's Divide was chef's kiss. I have issue with how late BNK decide how they want to take this team fight. And by the time they decide, Vikla can just feebly shove as the rest of the team gets steamrolled. Diablo does a lot here, but he's not great at breaking tanks. Like, that's one of the weaknesses of Yunara. He can't kill Morgan here. The flash here onto the Emperor's Divide is amazing, but the fight is essentially already won at this point. And I think if you equalize earlier, or you push onto Hype earlier, like, you could have made calls, but they wanted to both, like, hold the Herald aggro while also then winning on both sides. And eventually, Bro, we're just like, well, we're going to get on top of you and engage.
It was a bit disrespectful, right? I think that's one way to describe it, because it's like, we will just get everything and there's nothing you can do about it, which is not true, because Bro proved, like, okay, we can just run at you, we can pillar you, we can force Vikla to flash, and we can zone Raptor away. So Raptor wasn't even a factor in the fight. There's no CC from him. Clears Equalizer, thus totally missed when they decided to turn, because Kellen didn't go in because he couldn't, because he was trying to peel for Vikla. So it was like all over the place, and all Bro had to do, as was apparent by the quadra kill for a Trundle, is kind of just run at them. Yeah. And BNK were not ready.
You could see some of the obvious issues in this comp's engage and locking down the Yunara, but eventually they were like, well, we just kill Vikla, I suppose, and you know, you don't have enough damage to actually stop us from running at you. This is a weird trap here, but it might just work.
Yeah, didn't expect him in the brush after checking. The Braum coming in as well, and there's the Lucian. So much pressure up here from the side of Bro, but there is a Rift Herald elsewhere. They're gonna get Kellen, so that's 2 kills for the side of, and he's gonna deny it. Very nicely done here by Croco. For now, the subjugation is gonna come down as well, as they're going in on the Croco. I don't think that's gonna work.
Man, this really is the game where people are going to be like, no, I'm pretty sure Trundle is good into Wukong. I'm like, no, you don't hold there. Like, he has subjugate. Come on. He has 5 kills. He's got Force of Nature. I don't even know why he has Force of Nature.
It's Spirit Massage.
Or sorry, Spirit Massage. Yeah. My bad. I said the wrong AP unusual item that nobody builds. Well, it's getting a little bit more popular these days. Closer is going to outrun a Weaver's Wall. But he doesn't have to TP to defend the turret, so I suppose that's a small win.
So the Trundle is huge. We know that. Trundle is gigantic.
Yes.
How much is it going to matter? I feel like the biggest lead that matters is the closer one. Like, this Azir is quite strong, especially compared to Vikla, who's not quite having the same impact. Of course, he has gotten bullied a little bit in some of these fights. And BNK are going to get this Drake. So you see he checks. Yeah, he thinks, okay, it's free.
He thinks he's safe. That's actually just such a good, setup here from Morgan. The placement of the Braum ultimate as well is perfect. And then Kellen here, unfortunately, doesn't really have an out. Like, tries to ult his way away. Flashing there wouldn't have saved him. Yeah, Morgan happy with the setup he had there. This guy triply is
happy. Baby!
And then the pillar.
I saved mid turret.
Yep.
It's what he kept saying. And he did.
Like, I'm gonna save it, and he did. And so, you know, BNK didn't get anything back. They lost that tremendous team fight. I'm starting to feel like with this kind of weird, it's not weird. This is the build I often go when I play Yunara so far, the Bork into Runins. You have a lot of power at, doing AoE damage and carrying a skirmish when you're ahead, but I think from behind, you've just delayed your IE spike that you really need. Look at the advantages they have, the amount of deep vision they have here top side, how much cryo they have over this Baron pit, which allows them to just kind of force fights around this side laning Azir, and the Ornn that's starting to get so big that you can just deal with the Rumble this early. It's really, it's not that early. It feels like it's an early game with how little action we've had. Pushing into the Rumble, you feel good now. TP over. They're going to just look for an Otacon take here.
Yeah, there was vision on this, by the way. They knew that this was started. So BNK have to get in. Can they do it? The equalizer's pretty good. Now a wall's going to come down, and well, he gets here, kind of zones his team, but that's fine. He lowers it. Now Morgan going on in. The target is Morgan for some reason. He is super tanky, and they just turn off of this one. A giant sweep comes in, but still a ton of damage. Look at Diablo, totally untouched on the backside. And Bro are so low after all that damage, and that just means they get absolutely shredded. Clear as well. It's burning them to a crisp.
It's another Bro fight where they're just victims of the re-engages. Croco has a turret here.
He's so tanky. Oh, he's going to go down, and the shutdown goes over to Vikla. They also get the Otacon. Little bonus buff here.
Spirit Visage into Talia and Rumble feels pretty good when you're 5 kills and you got that turret and there's no wave, but ultimately there's just too many BNK members here, and down he will go. When I watched that Bro DNF series, a lot of the fights looked kind of like this, where Bro were on an objective and they're like, there's no way they can contest this. This equalizer is serious value in terms of the zoning and also some of the damage it applies. But watch the turn here with the Rakan. It's actually insane.
Just look at Diablo.
Diablo doing so much damage. The Rakan turn here after the Emperor's Divide is insane, as Diablo just free hits here. AoE with Runins plus his Q stack bouncing. It's really just from his ult, but you know what I mean. His Q passive, which is activated by his ult, is crazy. And then Krako, yeah, I mean, he avoids the knockup, but it doesn't matter. Clear gets out. So Bro kind of had a massive lead that they just tossed away off of hoping that closer ulting, I suppose, would be enough. I mean, the setup initially with Morgan's ult was pretty good, but you didn't break their formation. Hype was zoned away, you couldn't follow up right away.
Yeah.
The equalizer for BNK allowed them to have that opportunity to fight.
This is such a Rise group gold.
It is. It's the convection I was
kind of all
talking
over. It's the convection, except it's happening in the game as well as outside in terms of the whole LCK.
Yeah, right now Valdez is at the sweaty part.
Convection within a convection. We're like really getting deep now. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. I mean, they were tanking the Otacon too. Like, how many times have we said this? Where it's like, okay, turning off of objectives is a thing in League of Legends, but turning off of Otacon is different from like turning off a Baron, turning off a Dragon, turning off of anything else, because your resistances get shredded and you're taking a bunch of damage.
They did also leave the Rakan up after the pop was banned.
I mean, the draft is a whole other can of worms, a different convection.
Calling 100% KP. I'm just saying. They do have prio.
Preach.
I'm a small preach, you know.
You're preaching to the choir at the moment. The pillar's gonna come down.
Not a whole lot of value with it though. The Drake spawns in 20, so they're not gonna commit just yet. They're in fact just gonna try to push mid instead with this Azir. Set up the Sun Disc.
Yeah. First Mountain Drake kind of went over for free to B&K, so you can tell that Bro do not want to let them continue to stack.
This is a really smart setup here. This is what Azir does best. You Sun Disc the outer, pressure the mid, inner, while your team contests prio. This is going to force Vikla over, but he's so slow that he gets nothing. You will have to just ult back in, but B&K just running circles around Bro here on the objective setup instead.
Nice equalizer. Actually, is a zoning equalizer. And I think because Talia gets there first as well, just the whole team was already turning around, so they're like, it's not a great setup. So Bro, this time they just say no, and they're actually looking at the Baron.
And there's no vision of this. See if B&K are able to suss this out, because they really just don't have any vision really on the map. There's no mid vision, there's no mid wards. They are going to come over and see this. Raptor does not have flash, but does have the Warriors Trickster, and he's in the angle, potentially contest.
Looking for the turn. It's a little bit late, though. Not everybody's going to get there. Now Morgan in a lot of trouble, taking a huge damage on the top of this fight. Krako as well getting chunked out. B&K taking it slow, though, and now Hype in the front line. And this is the follow-up for Raptor is not quite there.
This is an angle where if you stay there, Diablo is just going to rip you to shreds. You've used all of your tools to try to peel and hold Baron. And the Yunara is like, don't forget about me, by the way. Going straight into LDR. On the third item, got the Executioner's Calling there as well. And with this build, especially when you've been given this much free reign in team fights, you're just incredibly powerful. Fights like this. Deathcap also almost done here for Vikla as well.
Yeah, you know, he got that massive shutdown on Krako, and he caught up in a big way after that.
So look at the tools used here on, is it a turn? Is it a retreat? Like Morgan drops this ult down, hits two people, but there's no fault. The placement of the rocks for Vikla means they can't follow up. And like, look at how indecisive this is. Krako is both running in as Morgan's getting chased down, then he retreats. And they just have no way to get Hype in to hit any of these meaningful targets.
We don't often get replays of plays that don't have kills, but in Bro games, we do. And that time, we absolutely did. By the way, Deathcap, you were talking about it, is completed here. And Vikla, you know, it was like more than a 1,000 gold lead for Closer in the early parts of this game, but now Vikla, 1,000 gold ahead for him, and feeling a lot stronger than his counterpart at the moment.
I mean, rushing the LDR, I think, makes sense when you're up against this Trundle and the Ornn, and it obviously is going to weaken some of your damage, but given the other damage sources they have and the great CC, I don't know if it really matters. And, I mean, looking at the setup here for this Baron, I mean, BNK can turn.
Yeah. We'll see if they actually do, or if we're just going to kind of K-ram in mid, because that's also another option. Side laning isn't real. BNK do have 3 grubs, so keep that in mind. They could, you know, send clear with TP to a side lane, maybe get some pressure going. Vikla, who's ahead with TP, could get some pressure going.
And it is, of course, a mortal reminder he's building with that calling as well, to mention the calling in his inventory, Diablo. Either way, heal deny plus, I mean, which is great into the trundle, but also the ability to break through these tanks. It's going to feel really good. I'm a little bit surprised BNK aren't more willing to utilize the fact that they have all their ultimates up, as well as a Weaver's Wall at the ready to force Baron fights here, where Bro's engage is very limited. Playing the map instead, and I guess that's a less risky play, but certainly think there was a real angle to pull the trigger and say, like, let's take this game in our own hands with the lead that we have. Because the Dragon's not up for 90 seconds, so playing through bottom here, a little bit funky.
Yeah. It feels like both teams are trying to figure out the macro state in real time. You know what I mean? Well, it's like, we're like, where do we go? Do we have to defend? Are we pushing anywhere? It certainly does feel like the tempo vibes are heavily in favor of BNK, where it just feels like they're in total control of this game, even though they're not that far ahead. Like, there are still ways for Bro, with, by the way, the Ornn and the ornaments, you know, they can easily make up for that gold difference that BNK have in the lead. But the vibes are there as now we get the engage onto that front line. Hype in a lot of trouble. He's just going to go down. That's what the engage does. But Diablo also in a bit of trouble, but he is finally peeled for as Johnny will go. The seismic shove on a 2 is gigantic as well. Vikla, tons of damage from this Talia at the moment, and he's going to make it count. He's going to make them hurt as now going on in. They're reconning that back line, and the comp is doing what it says on the tin. BNK go in and engage and take down 4.
Yeah, Krako is being hunted, but I think he is going to be able to get away here. Well, maybe not, actually. Okay, Vikla does not quite know where he is.
Oh.
Pillar stops him, and he is going to live for a little bit longer, but he's just trying to delay the Baron,
Ooh.
which they're already doing. He's got a control ward here, so he knows he can do the little loop-de-loop, but ultimately he's not contesting Baron. His team is wiped, and so it won't matter. The fact that they're able to set up this equalizer here and then cut this team off, like, look at this. Weaver's Wall plus equalizer. How can he peel for Hype? He gets charmed immediately by Kellen, and there's just too many threats. As Morgan has backline access here, but it means he's not able to save his front line. And the shove is just amazing here. And Diablo, he didn't do that much damage in the beginning of this fight because he was collapsed on, but the rest of the fight was basically won without him. He's just here to help clean up at the very end as Kellen is getting all the kills here. But that's Baron here for BNK in a 6,000 gold lead, not to mention the sole point they should be able to pick up by default with the prio the Baron gives. And I just can't see them slipping up from here.
Yeah, it doesn't seem very likely, especially with a comp like this, unless we go like maybe another 10 minutes. Like, if Bro could hold on somehow. The issue is that they're in a BNK, right? Bro, a relatively passive team, but BNK, especially when they feel like they're winning, they are kind of like the Vibes team, the Tempo Vibes team, where it's like, if they feel like the tempo's on their side, they're just gonna go in all the time, even if sometimes it's not a good idea. Hype, he gets slowed up, there's the equalizer. And now he doesn't exist anymore.
If you hit that arc, I mean, the slow is so insane that if you're behind like that, you will just get chunked down. There's no counterplay except to just splash if you get hit. He does not, and he will lose all of his health bar as a result, and that is just an inhibitor going down, and potentially more as they now collapse onto this bottom inhibitor here. Vikla has his Weaver's Wall back, so they can just straight up siege it.
Yeah, very nicely done. Good plays here from the side of BNK, and the shove is good once again after the stun follow-up. Very nicely done here. Only 3 guys left on the side of Bro, as Morgan gonna cancel that one, but he's still going down. And we'll just see how much extra damage they can add to their post-game breakdown stats graph, because that's all these players care about. They know they already won the game. It's 11,000 ahead, and down will go the Nexus. BNK will take game number 1.
Double Dragon can't stop this team, Valdez. And at the end of the day, 100% KP for Kellen, who just had insane recon engages the whole game, sometimes following up on a Wukong, sometimes re-engaging, sometimes in that last moment just being like, yeah, my team's kind of slowly pushing in, but I think I see the
I'm
angle.
gonna send it.
Yeah, he sent it. And unfortunately, the message was well received on the other side. Bro had a winning position in this game. They had the better scaling comp in some regards with the Ornn and the Azir, but they just chose the wrong targets to engage on and often were caught off guard by a really good performing Talia here. A great performance from Vikla on it, and Diablo just does an insane amount of damage. Like, yes, Yunara also scales incredibly well, but you have to make sure you don't get engaged on. This comp didn't have great angles on the side of Bro, but a few mishaps, and that gold lead they had around 20 minutes just was gone. BNK took map control.
Yep. How many Otacon throws are we going to see, Wolf?
Well, I mean, as many more as Otacon has played in this Rise group, I'd say.
It just keeps happening. Bro, we're in a great spot. And then, unfortunately, Otacon happened, and the turn wasn't great. BNK, they clawed their way back, and they take game number 1. What's it going to look like in game 2? We have no idea. We'll just have to find out after a quick commercial break.
나 전혀 있어서 나 미포 잡으면서 할게. 나 삼각 빠져. 난 바람에 이익 빠져 우리가. 난 나올 듯. 모인공 안 맞을 때. 트런들 노플이긴 하고. 딜 못하게 해야 돼. 천천히 트런들 볼게. 나 지금 할게 이거. 확인. 나 지금 하지마. 아직 볼게. 얘네 다 높을. 앞라인부터 봐. 앞라인. 너무 봐 들려. 라인 들어가면 끝날 거야. 오로. 봐봐. 움직여. 가보자.
Gone. Win rate just keeps going up. Kind of crazy. Not to me, not to you, Valdez.
Yeah,
but,
it's 14-5 now.
Some of our teams kind of not quite seeing the power of that pick. All right. Aurora gone again. Banned once again by Bro. See the Pantheon. Was it BNK that banned it?
Yeah, BNK banned it 3rd.
Valdez gave me a look.
And then they picked the Rumble. Yeah, I got my draft sheet here. That's why we write.
Record keeper Valdez.
Yep. I gotta follow the sheet, Wolf. It's very important.
He is a cheater.
Yes, thank you.
Just like the quill. The quill was strong for Kellen in game 1 there.
Except my handwriting is terrible, so unfortunate.
All right. Gwen gone. Pantheon gone. Since Wukong's already gone as well, and the Azir, Talia are gone.
How about a Vi?
Yeah, I think it's just going to be the boring Vi ban. I wonder if there's something else they could take here away that suits
Varus?
Yeah, that's the only other pick I'm really thinking at the moment. That's first pickable. Okay, Sivir is going to be taken away.
This is a call to say, ban Varus. Otherwise, you don't have Sivir to counter with it.
I mean, those are 2 picks, the Nocturne and the Sivir, that give you a lot of power in neutral, setting up for objectives because of the wave clear and the global power of the Nocturne. So,
and they're very good into Varus.
Yeah, true.
But they ban Vi anyway.
So, imagine it's probably going to be Hype's Varus.
By the way, Vi also a good tool into Varus.
Yeah.
They just banned it themselves.
Yeah. See what the answer to the Varus will be. and before they just like first lock Xinjiao.
They might. They might. Oh, we've seen crazier things.
No, they won't. They won't do it to us,
Rise group.
So the Varus is obviously one of Hype's best picks from Challengers. Same era as Bull. And we're just looking for a bit of an Orianna lock blind here. What is going to be the carrier? Xinjiao, not as good as some of the other banned and removed by Fearless picks. There's still a solid setup here. What do we see into the Orianna for closer is what I'm more interested in, because we haven't seen Rise do too well into this pick. Maokai going to empower that Varus poke.
Is he playing Yone? Yeah.
Okay.
When the Maokai comes out, it's like, well, he's probably picking AD mid. And with Yone available, definitely going to get bullied a lot early, but Yone is still Yone.
Yeah, I think it's a risky pick. But Invicla's been performing well recently. So I do think that it's not without its cost, but it's a pretty straightforward draft here for Bro. They have really great setup for Yone in team fights as well, and the same with the Varus. Not on board with this one. No, I'm not gonna say I like that one.
Okay,
There's no setup for it just yet. I mean, you have Xinjiao, you have Orianna, but you don't have a strong front line. You don't have hard engage.
Yeah, I think it's purely just a lane pick, you know, just something that can survive. And Jin, in terms of power level tier list, certainly is something that we see pretty often nowadays. So I feel like it's more in that vein, which can sometimes come back to bite you because generally in Fearless drafting, especially as we get to Game 2 and Game 3 and further in Best of Fives, the composition is what matters most. But in this case, just going to pick it to survive the lane. We do see the Scion bans. No Trundle is around, and it looks like Clear doesn't want to play that, so they're going to take that away from Morgan.
Alistair continues to be banned.
Yeah, Alistair bans.
The Scion ban is interesting. I'm trying to figure out what they think is going to be the best frontline pick to dive in with this Orianna to give the Jhin the agency. And I'm coming up with picks like Camille for some reason, you know? And I suppose maybe that's why we see Cassante and the Ornn ban. Like maybe Clear is playing Camille here aggressively. Maybe he's playing Renekton in this situation. So tricky to get value out of picks like that, though, that need to close a gap when you're playing into Maokai.
Yeah.
And that's part of why I don't like this draft, because Jhin is fine into Maokai, because he's not going to get rooted. He's not going to care, but you need your frontliners to be able to get up in there so you can Jhin it up. And that's the Renekton ban. So perhaps it's Camille they go with here. It would be, of course, Blind. Ambessa, similar idea.
Yeah, acts as his backlines, you know. As long as you can hit the Varus and Hype doesn't flash, you're going to be feeling pretty good. It's blind, though, and it definitely can be punished, and also it doesn't feel very reliable.
No. But in terms of counters, I mean, there's not a whole lot here. Could just be like a Jax. I was going to say even a Gnar doesn't feel that bad in this draft.
Mm-hmm.
But they have now two fantastic engage melees here that can follow up on a Maokai ult. Man, the Jax matchup into this Ambessa feels pretty good. And oh, this gives them such an edge in terms of team fight setup. I feel like Bro hit a slam dunk with this draft. There's like nothing really about this draft that I dislike.
There's really not many holes. I do think that the Bard is a very good choice into what they are looking at. One thing about Bard, though, is that generally the Nico's going to get her engage off whether you like it or not, right? So there's not much reaction you can do with that, but there's still a lot of setup for your Jhin. There's a lot of setup for your Orianna. So you can kind of play both sides as Bard often does. And if the Maokai ultimate is coming in, you can kind of play around that. It's good into Jax, stuff like that. But
you're just so squishy, though. If you lose control of the game, like these champs on the side of Bro are so mobile. Sure, you could maybe hit a Tempered Fate to set up a Orianna ult if it wasn't Jax Yone that you're playing into, or the Varus that's already 5 million miles away, and you have to get up into dealing with a Nico. If she snares you, then it's just, you're done. you're not going to get out. And if you're trying to clear vision, it is so incredibly tricky. I think the pick is incredibly strong right now. He's going to be great in lane. I mean, the Jhin Bard lane is going to be quite formidable. I'm more concerned about what happens in side lanes and in team fights later on, though. Like, Bro have both engage, disengage, side lane power, you name it.
Raptor, white team.
See if he can get it done into this masterclass of draft here for the side of Bro. And it's closers Yone. That's a pick we 100% trust.
It does have that stamp of approval for sure. This is game 2, starting right now.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다. 미니언 생성까지 30초.
All right, game number 2 on the cards here. B&K want to repeat the performance of last week and pick up the 2-0. Whereas Bro obviously want to do the exact opposite. But after game 1, it felt pretty dire, just the way that one all played out, the last 10 minutes of it for Bro. So hopefully they can mentally get back on the horse and show us a good performance, which, I mean, they have a much better draft, a much better start here to this game number 2. So here's hoping that they do.
Yeah, speaking of horse, Rel, gone. Well, it was a small nerf.
Rel disappeared, yep.
But we have not seen her today. I still think she's viable. You and I today, looking back at the drafts we had, we were super skeptical in our first series of the Yunara pick into the Wukong, right? That we had a good draft read on. We were like, that draft looks a little sussy. It did not win. Game 2, we were like, okay, Nongshim's draft looks way better. They arguably should have won, but did not win. And then in this first, game in this series, we're like, okay, looking good for the Yunara, it works out. And this game, we're kind of worried about B&K. I wonder if this is going the 5-gamer that you and I predicted at the beginning of the day. And I think this Jhin Ambessa can absolutely work out if Clear and Raptor are able to hit the angles, right? Because to me, Jhin is all about you're on top of somebody and Jhin doesn't have to be there to follow up. He's just like, I'm over, 2 screens away and I help you get that kill onto Hype, or if Closer's caught, or even the Maokai is caught, or Palu is out of position. When you have Xin Zhao, you have Ambessa, who's going to have backline access into this Varus. I just think that when a Maokai can say, well, your Xin Zhao and your Ambessa can't get there, then the fight becomes, in that moment, instantly in Bro's control. What they do with that control is up to them as see game 1. But that's my biggest fear. And the laning phase is going to be great for Jhin, we mentioned. You can see it on the minimap. It's going all right so far.
Yeah, it's a good response in Avaris for that lane. You were definitely skeptical and had a right to be based on what we saw in the first 3 picks, but feels like they rounded it out enough, in the draft. As here comes Hype and Palu trying to put on the pressure to Diablo. Whereas it's been Diablo putting on most of the pressure so far. So a good trade back. But I do assume that this game also will be relatively low action. Just like game 1. As I say that though, Root is not going to hit and he's going to cleanse in any way.
Yeah, Captain Jack timing, but just better safe than sorry.
Good idea. Good idea.
Better safe than sorry, as Vikla's going to have to flash to pull the Maokai.
Yeah, flash to pull him in. I don't know if it's going to work out. Krako just flashes away himself, and now your mid laner's down a flash. And speaking of which, we're getting in on Apollo, as now Diablo isolated a little bit, but he's just okay with the E coming in from the Varus. Not enough damage. Root comes in on the Hype, but no follow-up here. Kind of a ring around the rosy first blood for the side of B&K.
That was super weird. Ultimately, Palu does go down, but for a moment, it looked like he might somehow get out there. And they're not able to trade back the kill. Mid lane, you mentioned it straight up, straight away. The early level is going to be pretty tricky.
Uh-oh.
And he didn't go back on the spot where Yone snaps back, so he just kind of annoys Closer as Closer gets away. Clear? Clear?
I think he should be okay, but certainly dashing into Counter-Strike range of the Jax can be dangerous. Now he is greeting for some CS. He's gonna drink those potions, those cookies, and he will be okay. But
He'll be fine, but
scary.
Very scary, as you mentioned. It's going to be a massive wave crashing. They do have, you know, their jungle on the bottom side of the map, so Clear's probably starting to feel, probably sweating a little bit here, but I'm not sure if he had vision in that rush or not. If he did, at least he'd have that safety. It's actually Jax's word you can see now in this replay. As this is a cool idea here from Vikla, because Kellen's coming over. The rotation a little bit faster, this actually works out. And then on the bottom side of this fight, it gets a little bit weird here, as Paulo is the one who's engaged on. Diablo actually hits him, then gets the force shot, so much damage. Apollo actually almost gets out. Hype's damage is like so close to killing Diablo. So the setup there, I think, not too bad for BNK, but it backfire. Oh, sorry, for Bro, excuse me. Did backfire just slightly.
Yeah. Keep in mind that in the draft, they could have easily picked their support first and said, okay, we're going to get counterpick for top lane, right? It was kind of cool to me that they actually kept counterpick for Kellen. You know, they wanted to make sure 100%. It's something that I feel like shows a lot of confidence in a player, you know, when they're able to do that, especially like a support player, because I feel like that generally only happens for like Keria. Not Delight, because he always just plays engage anyway.
Yes, I mean, sometimes you'll see Delight get counterpick.
Yeah.
You know, especially if like Poppy's open and he wants to kind of suss it out. But I do agree, it's a little bit more rare for Arise group teams. And given the fact that they wanted to play Ambessa or some sort of hard engaged top laner for this Jhin comp anyways, it feels like with the bans that were there, you weren't going to have too much trouble with the Ambessa. Like, the Jax is a skill-based matchup where it's not necessarily about the fact that Jax counters Ambessa, it's just how well does it get played out. So far, they're relatively even up there. This Yone pick is starting to become a bit scary. It's still down in gold right now. And Vikla has piloted the early laning phase well, but you know, now we can kind of fight back. We'll be starting to make an impact soon. Clear. I mean, he is walking a tightrope in this game. He's going to engage a Raptor.
He's going in on a Croco. Raptor is here. And in goes the Raptor on a Croco himself. TP is coming in, but that's going to be very slow from a Bard. Might not matter. It's just a straight up 2v2. Oh, that's totally going to miss. And now the Counter-Strike comes in. And yes, Kellen will arrive, and it looks like they should be able to trade it back as Kellen steals the kill, unfortunately. Definitely didn't want to, but still, it's a trade 1-for-1. Kellen did have to TP.
Yeah, that's a little bizarre there, but ultimately it happens when you want to secure the kill. You're hyper-focused in that moment. Diablo is... He still has cleanse, so he's going to be fine no matter what. Nice sights.
Just dodge.
Yeah. But, I mean, that top side play was super risky. As closer... Nice. Oh, get him out of there. I'm stealing your play-by-play like in these moments. So I'm like, trying to make an analytical point about the top side fight.
Chronicler was play-by-playing last week, you know, like we're having our fun.
Yeah.
You can get in there if you want.
But I really wanted to go back to this play here. Is Clear. You know, his communication with Raptor in this moment is, I have an angle, come up here, and then Clear hits the tip of the ultimate. The problem is that Croco can actually use this wave to taxi away, buys a ton of time, has a really nice smash there. Then that W misses, the sapling slows. Like, everything goes so well for Croco. I mean, he plays it super well, even dodges there. Kellen's Q. But I gotta applaud the play in the turn there from Clear. It was really nice. It just ultimately didn't matter that much.
Yeah.
Because Croco played it so well, and then Bard stole the kill, so it's a win for Bro, but I liked how Clear was thinking on that one.
Yeah, he did a great job. That's how you gotta play on Bessa. You gotta be playing on a tightrope essentially at times. And it can be very anxiety-inducing. Kellen's over here. Just clearing out vision, they're gonna get the one Grub. Grub's not having a very big impact in some of these games that we've seen.
It's pretty good for Jax. He already has 2. As Vikla, be careful with these. He's just walking the line. We'll end up getting the favorable trade. Valdez.
Bro and Brew, what are you drinking over there?
It's my second peppermint tea of the day.
Second peppermint tea?
Yeah, I'm often a chamomiler, believe it or not.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, I'm feeling peppermint today. Got a little, you know, cold that I'm recovering from on the very end of it, so I wanted to get some tea. And it's working well for me.
It's a good idea.
I had the feeling, as you and I both agreed at the beginning of the day, that it was going to be a 3-gamer this series. Starting to feel a little bit less sure about that as this game goes on, but...
You just never know. sometimes the drafts don't matter. Like, sometimes you can look at a draft and be like, wow, that's a giant gap. Like, we were worried in game 1 with the 5-0 Trundle. We're like, oh, we just talked about how this draft was so good for the side of BNK, and now, even the specific matchup, the Trundle is, like, popping off, and then it just didn't matter. Part of it is that it's a Trundle with 5 kills, and, like, what is that even going to do? Especially when you're playing against Wukong and the comp that plays around it. But, yeah, you just never know. Like, yes, Bro got a really good draft, but they still got to play it well. Not convinced just yet.
It's funny how, like, you know, in a Legend game, especially in upper echelon. Oh, hold up.
Yeah, closer assault again.
This is the perfect example of what I was about to say is, like, in a Legend game, moments like this don't really happen that much because you don't get in a position to where you can, like, ult and push somebody out of the lane and force them to ult its closer, but, like, he's had to do it now twice in this matchup. You know, some of those jukes we saw from Kroko not only are less likely to impact a play that's basically decided by a macro rotation and numbers game like that happens in Legend Group, but people don't miss their Wind Becomes Lightning either in Legend. You know, like, moments like these can actually be the defining factor in on a knife's edge how close a Rise Group game is that you just don't see in Legend, you know? That's why Rise games are more fun.
Counter-Strike is down, Clear finding the angle, but not quite confident to dive the turret, not just yet.
Yeah, not even confident to grab that plate on his own autos. We'll let the minions do it. Shield, very powerful.
Going back in is Morgan. He's going to run out of his Counter-Strike. And guess who's here again? It's Kellen. He's got Ignite.
He does.
He's absolutely going to try to go in on this one. The auto comes in, and the flash has to be used.
I mean, that's so many plates now going over to Clear, though, from the play. Look at the positioning of Vikla as well. He was ready to follow up. They had tons of vision. Oh, man, even gets the deny.
That's such a Bard play, by the way.
It is. And look at the vision control over the top side of the map. Like, they know that they can actually go this far for this. Kellen knows he can absolutely follow up, get that deny on the back, look for the kill. Maybe when they couldn't use this back, but yeah, that's such a Bard move. Yeah.
Just baiting them into using their abilities, yeah.
Such a magical journey he took.
Yeah. All right, going in on the Xinjiao. Tons of damage into Kroko, though. Look at that. But meanwhile, Closer's getting isolated on the right side. So a trade 1-for-1. I think I'll take that kill on the Varus a little bit more.
Yeah, feeling pretty good about that. The angle for Vikla onto Kroko was pretty good.
Raptor's pretty strong right now. You can see that Closer can't really fight him there. I'm not really sure why they were still in the river, but either way, they got punished for it.
We're sure why they're still in the Rise Group. Let's put it that way.
that is one thing. Yeah, it's kind of locked down after a lot of play in rounds 1 and 2.
You know, like talking about East Side, West Side before Rise Group, Legend Group. You know, it felt pretty obvious what we meant, but now I feel like with especially how they're locked into this group, like, you know, in the past East teams would play against West teams, you're like, well, anything can happen, right? But it's, you know, it has to be an upset. Now we just know where we're at. We know where we're going. The Rise doesn't mean you get to rise out of the Rise Group. You're stuck there for the rest of the season. As Hype is totally fine.
Ooh. Okay. Hit the third. All right.
He's like, cool, anyways, let's go back to killing a minion.
That's his version of the Varus Q.
There you go.
That one ult was the Varus Q.
But, like, he had to aim multiple shots to get the value out. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that also means it's, like, not as good, yeah. Well,
higher potential value.
I think the hope here for BNK, and this comp that is, right now, 1,500 gold up, is that they can have some really nice shockwave engages, and the Zambessa is going to hold water. And the Bard play has been pretty good so far from Kellen.
Yeah, Morgan gonna get ulted here. No Counter-Strike goes in for the ult. It's a very close one. We got Raptor on the way, but it might just be a one-on-one kill. It's Clear. One more auto would do it, but he can't quite make it happen.
Yeah, a little hesitation there. Morgan is fighting with components, and Clear had Eclipse, an additional longsword. So, I think, wait.
No way. No way!
Well, he hit that one. He hit that one, becomes lightning. Vikla is the target here.
Oh, Tamar Fate gonna help him a little bit, but the follow-up, pretty good. It's Nico, it's Sione, and it's a Maokai. Paulo, though, will be traded back. So nicely done. Kellen just getting even more fed. Look at him. He's 3-0-1.
Yeah, Kellen is actually just...
It's a carry.
He's considering, like, if he should buy a Shirelius or something right now. He's like, well, I don't know. There's a lot of money here.
Is he going Dead Man's Plate next?
Might. This fight is pretty unrealistic to hope to take, I think, if you're Morgan in this situation against an Ambessa that has ult and that has items on you and has shielding. Like, it looks pretty close until it doesn't, right? Claire is not going to be able to connect that one, doesn't get the last auto. Raptor's like, well, I'll take this into my own hands as he just takes turret aggro and Morgan wasn't watching.
I mean, all he had to do was not be in the shop and just run away from the Xinjiao that was diving the turret. But
this ended up being pretty good for B&K as well. Like, they end up getting the Tempered Fate here to buy time. The Plot Blossom has to be used, and then the kill goes over to Krako, and Palu is traded. I mean, they're kind of not really winning on this one. They obviously lost on the bottom side.
And it's a lot committed, you know, to just trade kills and, like, yeah, it's just Kellen, but it's another Kindle Gem. Every support's favorite item, just pick up another one. He's actually pretty tanky. He's got his redemption finish. No item completion for Palu yet, so very far behind the Bard.
Get wrecked. Support diff.
Yeah, just Bard things. Big Bard fans over here.
He also doesn't have Unsealed Spellbook. He's so limited, though. This is a pretty risky hold of this Herald here by B&K. They're going to have to give up control.
Oh, that Shockwave, though. The damage insane. And now the shots coming through from Diablo are pretty good, but the steal here on the Rift Herald is going to be good as well. Raptor goes down. That's another kill for Morgan. Picks up the Bard. And Morgan just going to walk away from this one as we have the emote down. Clear as well, running away from two. Can he trade one back is really the question. The ult comes through for closure, and the shot from Hype is enough to put him in the ground. So Bro finally gets something here.
Bro finally with a big swing back. They will be able to get the Herald as well as the ensuing team fight. As the Shockwave positioning here, the ball denies Krako entry initially. He does drop down his ultimate now, and the follow-up is insane. Look at that damage. Coming through Raptor as well, layering on top. But then the follow-up here is just a little bit sketchy. Like, they're not able to actually close the gap onto Krako with the rest of their team, and then Morgan flashes for the double, getting an insane amount of value on this Jack, because the Jhin can't really do anything here when he doesn't have setup, right? And so he's just pushed away, and then Krako here is bailed out by his teammates, but another kill goes over to the Varus. This poke Varus going to become a real threat. Up until this point has kind of just been playing in the mid lane as Kellen. Just Bard things,
yeah, just Bard things. He's all right. Well, he's dead now. I can't believe they actually tried to do that.
Bard ult.
They did not have to do that at all.
Bard ult and Shockwave for flash, and also Bard life for flash. Not sure about that one. It did look cool.
It, in theory, was going to be awesome.
If there's one person,
Instead, it was that.
If there's one person in the world who approves of it, I bet it's Barrel. But I was like, no, that's actually the optimal play.
Yeah, no, that's the best play for sure. Absolutely. Raptor smites the Rift Herald, gets level 11 off of it.
They get the turret. And this is where things get scary, you know, with a Jax that has 2 grubs, not 3, but still 2 grubs in the side. Was significantly behind, but actually now is comfortably able to side lane. This Varus is going to be a threat for objective control with its poke. It's another Mountain Soul today, which is kind of wild. But that is going to limit some of the poke Varuses. Kellen gets caught here and then decides, hey, if I have this set of maybe get to carry exhaust, like, all right, nice, cool idea.
They got his flash.
And they should be able to get the dragon out of it as well.
Yeah, not double dragon, just single dragon.
Yeah, not a double.
Yeah.
Very slow dragon pacing in this game.
Yes, indeed. Big gold swing. Now they're going to go back on Apollo here. There's the Tempered Fate. And, well, the Jhin is not going to hit, but everybody else is here, and they used quite a lot. As Kellen gets another kill.
Yeah, Kellen.
There were 4 people attacking him.
Next thing, he's going to start, like, last hitting the minions mid lane.
I want to see Dead Man's Plate.
Kellen?
Yeah, okay. He is soaking up a lot of pressure. So is Raptor. Gonna try to flash away. They're very deep in the enemy jungle here. Very short magical journey. Is now trying to turn on a Morgan here. Clear running away from his opponent.
Yeah, pick a target.
Very interesting.
Bro. Any target. They really wanted to get. They got greedy with that one. They were like, we get Kellen +1, right? And they ended up not getting anything at all, in fact. So that was wonky. It's still a big win for Bro, but I think they wanted a little bit more monetary value. As Paulo here, you know, tries to use his clone, gets tempered faded, as the timing for the Jhin is not perfect, but it doesn't matter. Kellen steals the kill.
Ruler would be so angry.
Yeah, I think
actually,
Guma would be a little. Guma would be like, "Well, I hit those," you know. Ultimately, we didn't watch the shenanigans that happened afterwards because nobody died.
Yeah.
But I mean, look at the Varus poke. This is Braum without vision. We kind of set it up earlier, the possibility of what it could mean if BNK lose control of the map, and Kellen is reminding himself of what that's like. And here we go, it's Otacon start, all right? Look at the vision control. It's not perfect, but they got a control ward here in the tri-brush. They got one on the bottom. That one guy in the crowd just screamed, I'm pretty sure. The guy said, please don't hit Otacon. As this was the demise of Bro in game
All right,
one.
they pulled off of it. Good job, guys.
Did they?
Just kidding. They're spotting it, still leashed.
Morgan has TP, and obviously so does Clear, but they're gonna try to look for a turn. This is how you use Otacon for pressure. This is the right call, Bro.
Yeah, they have learned. And I'm sure that Duke and the coaching staff just went back and said, okay, guys, that was not it. We can make it. Let's go over this. And that was much better handled. It didn't really, nothing really happened out of it, but that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, BNK played it well. They did not over-index. They did not face plant on trying to deny. Kellen took a bunch of damage and got back, and this time they know that two members are backed, and they have tons of mid-prio. This kind of works, and I think this time there's just simply no way for BNK to know.
Yeah.
They have no vision anywhere. Like, look at the mid lane. That's what happens when you have Varus on that mid-prio against a Jhin. You're just like, well, anything can be happening on the map. You'll just never know.
Very sneaky from the side of Pro. They're gonna take it down, and this Otacon take so much cleaner, and that's the guy. He's ripping the sign. They said, yeah, you can start off Otacon first if, you know, you do it like that.
I love the fan, like we're weaving in fan narrative into the game. It's great.
The fan interaction, the broadcast, really good.
I do enjoy a smart Otacon from time to time, Valdez.
Yeah. It's not always risky. You just got to know how to handle it, how to set it up.
Ellen's on a weird flank here, which could either be incredibly powerful or could be a big problem for him. He is going to magically journey his way back towards the rest of his team instead of looking for that play. Ult here from Varus.
Yeah, this is onto a Xin Zhao, so Raptor just holding onto his ult for very long. Now he's going to use it, but still a lot of damage into the Xin Zhao as Kellen is just dead. Clears here on the flank, and there's no one really to follow up on it as he is very alone. Is going to ult on it. Does actually a ton of damage, but that was just to the Nico. So, Bro, nice setup here. Should be able to get the Dragon.
So Kellen went back on the flank. It didn't work. I was a little bit worried. He's got his Mikhails now with all that gold he picked up. That's relatively useful in this game, but didn't have it for that fight. Didn't have it, wouldn't have saved him in that situation, I don't think, either. But ultimately, this is a big win for Bro. Their second Dragon of the game. Morgan gonna grab a whole turret as well. And the Jax that was bullied in the early game now has 4 kills. Prediction not correct there. Not everyone can be Chronicler hype, but it's a good angle he took either way. Like, this fight here is so well played from Bro. Forces Raptor to ult early, and now they have the Maokai ult to follow up, so no one can punish the fact that Crescent Guard is here. They just cannot get in there. Hype is putting so much damage, and the Kellen is like going in, and he didn't have ult, actually, according to our UI. Not 100% sure if I trust that, but either way, he did not get anything out of it. And down he goes. They win the fight. They push Raptor away. And it's all off the back of Hype, setting up that first play with his ultimate, Chains of Corruption.
Yep.
And maybe the 5-gamer is upon us, Valdez.
It does feel like, you know, a lot of predictions are coming true today. And that one might be one of them as well. You and I predicting the 5-gamer, just expecting Humalife Esports to take the 2-0. They almost didn't, by the way. Game 2 was extremely close. So they got it though, and then now it's looking good for Bro here in this game number 2. They've got Otacon, they have the first Mountain Drake, and they've got a pretty healthy gold lead. And it doesn't really feel like B&K are on the same page. Now we're gonna have another Bard gank, as that is a very nice binding, but you can see they're still pretty apprehensive about this. If you're gonna go for this play, this is a good timing, as there's no Baron at the moment. And I think eventually Morgan just gets kited out, although he is very strong. Temper Fate.
I don't know if that's actually helpful. Like, they're buying more time, actually, to get more value top
Oh,
side.
the ult's gonna miss. Morgan is going 1v4 at the moment. He does finally get taken out. The kill goes over to Raptor.
They get 2
and
innings
they
for
gain
this.
over 2 kills. Not worth.
No.
Hashtag.
No.
Although, a little bit of bonus. A little B&K bonus here at the end.
That's what we call bonus barrier.
Yeah.
Can they get more? Hype is
wait.
just walking over blindly?
Wait.
The self-slow?
Raptor, he's in there. The damage is done. 883 gold given over to the Xinjiao. Vikla gonna get rooted even though he didn't have to. In goes to Yone, and it doesn't matter. He gets taken down. And B&K rolling their way into so many bonus kills.
Yeah, bonus barrier was just the start of the combo. And ended up getting a lot out of this. So Morgan has respawn and does have TP.
They're gonna get Baron.
I don't think they can stop this. There's just no way. Apollo has flash, but he doesn't have ult. And I think maybe if he did, they do something, try to do something silly with the Jax TP, but without the Pop Blossom, there's just no way to make anything happen here, and they're just gonna have to concede the Baron. There's 2 turrets. Yeah, there's 2 turrets up that are gonna fall instantly, and I think they can get much more than that. It's hype. If he had barrier there, no, I'm kidding, but Raptor actually just so difficult to kill, and I'm not really sure about this attempt on the Yone to actually get in there, but...
Well, he was dead anyway, so he just...
I guess it doesn't...
He sent it.
Yeah, I guess he probably doesn't get out there even with his flash. And if he does get 2 kills there, it's great. He doesn't have his ult for a little while here, but I guess with Baron just going for free, it doesn't matter. As Diablo is large, as the production is pointing out. He's big.
Is he in charge, though?
I would say yes, as the only deathless person on the Rift. I think that qualifies him to be in charge.
Yeah. Currently in charge is Diablo. And he's waiting on that IE. If he can get that with how in charge he is, I mean, he's still behind on golds compared to the Varus, who has 3 items completed. Obviously, the Lethality items are cheaper, but...
I also think there's still some compositional issues here. Like, he's played incredibly well, despite not having a lot of easy setup. And he's been in the right place at the right time so many times. You've had that skirmish in the early game that went his way. Everything that he's done has been, regardless of comp, like draft aside, really, really intelligently played. Just don't know if at the end of the day it's going to matter on some of these big team fights, because they got those kills, they got Baron, but they haven't broken open the base. They haven't even gotten really cryo on the map, you know? And
yeah,
that's what I'm a little bit concerned about here for B&K.
Well, it's just a little bonus Baron, you know? Little stimulus pack. They just get like a little influx of gold. They flip it around, you know?
They got that top turret. And mid turret, almost. Ooh. Almost.
Almost.
Click on that turret. How much health has he got?
17. I don't know, actually. I'm just
guessing.
I
was like, where'd you see that?
Oh, I've got my in-game PC right here. No, not quite.
It'd be insane if it's actually 17. Somebody out there, let us know. I mean, now it's possible to check, right? Bro, just gonna... 67 was the...
I got the 7 right, yeah. I just couldn't see the 6. It just looked a little... Yeah.
Oh! Let that turret be, Diablo.
Sometimes I just want to take little clips of our voices and put it in a soundboard. Like, that sound is something we need on a soundboard.
At least D-Sun was able to get us the update right before Diablo ruined everything.
Yeah,
but he can do that because he's in charge, and he has an IE
also,
now.
Also, very important, Ox just updated me. It now has 0 HP.
Ah, yes.
So, thank you, Ox.
Does it have 0 HP if it doesn't exist?
Yes.
I don't know about that.
What do you mean?
Because
if you go to 0, you cease to exist.
Okay, so if the turret was dealt exactly 67 damage,
yes, it
then
would
it
fall
would be
to 0 and
destroyed
die.
at 0. But if it goes below 0, it's destroyed, but the value would be negative.
Yes, that is true.
So I'm not sure if
It
was
also
ever
would be
really-
destroyed at 0.
I don't know if
As you just said.
No, but if it's destroyed, it doesn't have any hit points unless it was destroyed at 0, right? Freak, let us know.
What?
Look, you see what I'm saying?
Tempo vibes, yeah.
Just because it's dead doesn't mean it has 0 HP. It's just dead.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Like, can you click on it and check its HP?
Yeah, that's true. Is there overkill damage? No, I don't think so. I don't think it's sitting at like negative 437.
Well, if it hits the threshold, it just gets destroyed, but it never goes to 0. Right?
So is it forever at 67?
Well,
Parentheses destroyed?
I mean,
you know?
if the attack there, which it definitely did more than 67 damage from Diablo, like that was its last known HP, yeah. Right?
So it's just in the death chamber at 67 health.
I don't think turrets go to death chambers. I know like a lot of people like to believe that, but I'm
Look
not.
at it. It's got like some little dust coming out of it, some space dust, you know, maybe. You never know.
Look, I know there's a bunch of turret religion out there, and I don't want to offend anyone.
Yeah.
I just don't think turrets go to the death chamber, Valdez.
All right, well.
Okay,
Agree to disagree.
With the exception of Nexus turrets, but only recently have they been allowed to go.
Okay.
It's a more tolerant thing with the turrets these
Whatever
days.
you say, Wolf.
All right, so we're going to have a fight here. Closer buffers the Tempered Fate.
Yes. And it does work that way. That is the first time we've ever had a teleporting golden Zonya's up guy. Probably not, actually.
They didn't do it really during the Baron, Valdez, but B&K were able to get map control and prio for this Baron. It took a long time. We had a large turret discussion. Diablo popped that turret off the map. And finally, once they got the mid turret, it was a little bit easier to play through that and set up for what will be potential Baron take / turn here for B&K to try to close out this series. But ultimately, we'll see how this one plays out because Rise Group is Rise Group. And like if they just...
You just never know.
If they just get vision and then let it go and then Hype shows up as a 4-item lethality Varus, maybe actually they just outpoke and anything could happen.
Anything is possible.
Impossible is nothing.
Yeah. Keep your mind open. We're thinking outside the box today. At least in the second half of today.
Right, you get it, Nico.
The taunting is real.
That's the Varus poke. That was onto an Ambessa.
Yeah.
And a Jhin.
They have the Bard, so it's like a minimal amount of healing. It's not amazing, but, you know, it's enough to at least mitigate some of that damage. And if we're just kind of sitting here getting poked out by Varus, you're going to need something.
Yeah, I mean, eventually that will start to add up. But in the meantime, they'll just put a Jackson side lane, shadow him with Croco. As Raptor, if he's forced ult here, this would be really bad.
At least he gets the ward. I mean, the sap things are beginning to do some damage too.
This angle here as well for Croco is kind of insane.
Yeah, Croco has a very nice angle. Raptor in it, but look at the damage there on a closer. Being engaged comes out for the Nico, but there's no follow-up except Morgan, as he is doing an insane amount of damage actually, and will get that damage down. But look at Clear and Raptor, 2v2. And Clear especially, the fact that everything was focused on a Morgan and Clear totally survived means that B&K come out ahead.
Yeah, B&K, despite, despite everything, like Diablo's positioning in that fight, by the way, I don't think he could have played that better. Just kiting it out, actually insane. End up coming out on top. This angle here for Croco felt like it was a shoo-in. He's got this insane setup with his ultimate. Diablo is caught, but they cannot get on top. And the Yone engage is actually super poor. Pop Blossom hits, but there's no follow-up. And look at Diablo, that's what I'm talking about. He's just insane damage output despite being focused. And yes, he ultimately does die, but so much with it. B&K.
Yeah, it's not gigantic, but it's very big.
Wait, this is a little wild.
Well, Raptor was, he was on the dragon, so they say maybe we can just do this. I don't think you can just do this, but let's see.
Is eventually going to get here. That's going to slow things down.
Yeah, in goes Morgan, gonna get a flash out here, and the Nico follow up the double knockup, but can they get this damage into Raptor and clear the frontliners? It's looking pretty good for Bro at this point in time, and there's the follow-up ult on in, but Closer, he's gonna pay the iron price, and now the GA comes out here from Raptor, still alive somehow. There's a fourth shot gonna hit the clone, and Bro say, well, we're pretty low. I don't think we can do Baron anymore.
Yeah, I don't think they can. I don't think BNK can either. So they're gonna walk away. Ooh, that was close.
Yeah.
And AD carries are doing the moving, as we call it in Korea, in this state of League of Legends. This Tempered Fate, not 100% sure if it actually was advantageous for BNK because it kind of just gave some additional time for Hype to rotate over here. If you use it here, you can have such an insane setup. If you time it with the Shockwave as well, there's a little bit more power to it. Ooh, as Closers, he's had some self-owns today on this Yone, trying to get into the backline, trying to get access. Clone block here was nice. Morgan gets out, and they're back on the Baron again in live.
Yeah, there's dead timers here for Raptor and Clear.
This one makes a little bit more sense. He does not have Smite at the ready. His exhaust.
It's just no Smite. You have Maokai. I feel like it's pretty free. A little ult on a Kellen. Gonna get the flash away from him. So Baron secured by Bro. Nicely done.
Right. It's a bit of a longer one.
Yeah. Now that we have a little bit of downtime, I do have an important update to the turret conversation.
Oh, yeah?
Ox, let me know, if Azir rebuilds a turret, it comes back at full HP, not missing any overkill damage, therefore it doesn't go negative.
But how does that...
So that solves our issues here, Wolf.
But I mean, it's the Azir turret's not a rebuild turret, it's a Sundisk turret. It's not the same
but it's like reviving
I'm not.
the turret as a Sundisk.
I'm not on board with your turret Bible stuff.
I've done a lot of studying.
I don't know about that. Sundisk, I think, completely related to a Shuriman thing. I don't think that has anything to do with what is happening with the spaghetti. Not sure about that one. I'm going to choose not to believe that is the answer.
We're just going to have to agree to disagree. I think turrets go to 0 and then they die.
I think turrets hit the threshold of 0 or below and then die at whatever their last hit point was. I don't know, fellas. I'm just having a bit of a jab, as so is this poke Q coming out from Hype. And I mean, this Baron in the siege is kind of insane, and we may have a wraparound here as well for Closer. Like, the damage from this Varus is wearing away at the side of BNK, and at any given point, Kroko could just use his ultimate for siege. They need to be respectful.
Okay, Raptor's just fine. And yeah, I think Bro get this one for sure, and so do BNK. So they're gonna back away, give up the one.
It's huge that they get to do it without either Kroko or Closer pulling the trigger. And usually if they pull the trigger, you back away, they get the turret. Now they're like, well, maybe we do it on the next turret. A little bit tougher in the base, as DNF will tell you, to take those down, but the outer turret's definitely a pretty good look here for the side of Bro. A ton of money injected into these players. And that might be the last dregs of this push, as Kroko's waiting for someone to step over the line, and it's just not going to happen. He's also inconveniently on a ward he can't see.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the end of it. This game will continue. Bro, they have just enough time to reset and head back over here, use the last of their Baron buff to grab Cryo for what would be Mountain Soul.
Yeah, that's where all the eyes should be at this point in time. Bro on Mountain Soul points. BNK need to deny it if they want to have any hope, I'd say. I think this Jax is just out of control. Like, Morgan can easily carry this if he gets Mountain Soul.
I mean, considering he has Zonias as well, it's like, you just can't kill this guy.
Yeah.
You basically have to kill him twice.
Item value is almost exactly even at this point in time. And so does the gold. So everybody's spending their golds, going for it back. The Varus, they gave it over.
And even though Diablo has a gold lead, I don't know if his damage is equivalent, though, to Hype's. As we're going to see the Maokai ultimate early here.
All right, the
Morgan wants to jump
through. Gonna get the flash on in. Bigla gonna survive, though, and Morgan, so much of the gold and so much of the damage is so low as he goes golden. Very important. The follow-up with the Nico is big. Morgan's still alive, and he actually gets away. Clear's flank gets thwarted, and Bro, they handle it very nicely. Paulo, though, is gonna kind of die for I'm not so sure. BNK.
Caught out there, but I mean, with the damage here from Hype,
I think they just get it. They just get it.
Should be able to. Raptor can't get the steal.
Ooh, but the ball goes in. The shockwave is pretty good. He's got GA. So the fight still might go over to BNK. Looking for a bit more. Krako looks like he's down as you see Degon, the live cam, as Bro are falling. It's okay, Degon. They got the Mountain Soul.
Ooh, that dodge.
And it's not over just yet. We'll see if it's over from here. As
I mean, I think
they're going to try to end, though.
I think there's definitely a real end angle here. These death timers are just too long. Now, Morgan is
Morgan's
alive.
up, though. I don't know.
I mean, and they also have to go through all the way through the inhibitor. I guess there might just be enough time for them to come back here. Vicla's doing so much damage.
Knowing
at this
BNK,
point.
they will try.
The TP is committed to, I mean, BNK, they're up 1 in the series. They're going to go for it.
Oh, the Mountain Soul trade for Nexus. Will it happen?
It's almost back up. It's up now.
Yeah, you can see the TP coming in. They're going to try to keep this wave alive. And Raptor says, okay, get away from me. I just want to kill this. As Paulo goes in, doesn't hit anything. And actually, the ult here from the side of Clear is going to catch the Jax. And that will be the nail in the coffin. They clear up, Bro. And it's the Mountain Soul for Nexus trade. No 5-gamer here tonight. It's just BNK looking strong once again.
Pretty easy Diablo vote, I would say, for POM in this one. His Yunara, phenomenal in game 1. And then in game 2, just such a great Jhin game. He didn't end up getting the perfect KDA, but he had, I mean, even that one death, his first death of the game in the mid lane, did so much damage. He got the turret. He made us question turret religion. He is just on top. Pretty good series from Clear as well. And unfortunately for Bro, their woes continue as it's now, what, the 13th loss to BNK in a row in the org? Because obviously they've lost so many times in the row.
Or is it 14?
It might be 14.
There was a sign out there that said 14 earlier.
I guess it's games, so yeah. It's not 14 series in a row, but...
no, I think it is, actually.
Well, if it is, yeah, it's not BNK the whole time. Either way, at the end of the day, like, Bro losing twice in a row here, back-to-back in games after, you know, coming back in that series against DNF. But again, to me, that DNF comeback wasn't really a Bro celebration. It was more of a Bro relief, like, oh man, that was really close. That almost went to 3. We almost dropped a game to DNF. No one is doing that right now. They were able to come back. Kellen, I don't know about that. He had a great game 1.
He had some moments, but it's Bard. It's really difficult. Like, playing Bard in Rise Group, that's some Riz, okay?
Because if he...
that is so... That's crazy.
If he actually had, you know, a few more consistent moments in this game, like if he... How do I put this? Like, if he got 4 kills, but, like, every team fight was all about him, I'd be like, oh, yeah, of course. Like, he stole the kills, but it doesn't matter because he got a great game 1, and he's palmed for sure. But I think Diablo ends up taking the cake here.
I think
Raptor,
absolutely.
Pretty clean Xin Zhao game as well, I got to say. In the face of some of these circumstances.
He played well. I just don't think he was the POM. I kind of agree. I think it has to be a Diablo angle, but we'll see. You see that closer pops back there. He was super caught, so it just kind of sends it. Krako also caught, and you know, that was the bonus on top of the bonus on top of the bonus that BNK, they got back into the game because of that.
Yeah. More than just a barrier. Backbreaker.
Yep.
And think about my comment.
He's thinking. He's aware of it.
Yeah, I gotta put that in. It's so easy to fall into the Diablo sounds like Diablo, and so therefore I'll go for one of those.
What if you did it in Aux pronunciation of Diablo? You got something there, maybe?
Could be. Like he's diabolical.
Yeah.
Diabolical. I mean, my delight quote earlier, my delight comment was a little bit too cheesy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can go with something like that.
What about like... No, that wouldn't be good.
I'm just thinking if I could somehow Yunara it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I'm like, he's the best at Yunara for now. And I'm like, that doesn't sound very good for Diablo.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
I'll put it in.
He's got it. He's putting in his comment. All right, let's take a look at the post-game breakdown here. The damage, actually Clear doing the most by a pretty decent margin over his teammates. And then Hype, of course, is playing Lethality Varus. The goal difference graph looks very much like a Rise Group goal difference graph, or an LPL graph, or a Challenger League graph. It's just one of those graphs where we're limit testing a little bit, let's say, to be nice.
Rise Group, 40-minuter. You know, it's, I want to say it's a beautiful thing. And you know what? I can get what I want. It's a beautiful thing. And Diablo gets his palm. Yeah, I don't think Kellen was robbed.
No.
But I would be okay if he gets a rogue vote or two. Same with Raptor.
Yeah. Kellen played well. I like how they gave him the counter pick. And at the end of the day, he had a great game. A couple of games. I think his Bard was also pretty good. It wasn't carry level. He was using the T1 skin. He was using the carry skin, but not quite there. But it was a good effort. At the end of the day, I do think that a lot of the power of BNK does come from Diablo. And he did show that here. It's kind of crazy that he only has a second POM today.
He's just so insane. Like, some of the performances we've seen from him all year long, even in losses, like, his mechanics are just so crazy. I love watching him play. Even on Jhin, he made it look like he's seeing angles no one else is seeing. He's walking in the middle of the team fight knowing he has the agency to do so. Very cool stuff.
Yeah. And now the rest of the team is kind of, you know, leveling up around him as well. You know, like, Clear's looking pretty good today. We had Vikla as well, like a pretty good series once again, back-to-back. So that's a nice little streak for him. Raptor, he had some moments. His Xinjiao did look good, and then Kellen as well has been a key piece of this duo and part of the reason why they get so many duo kills.
This will, for now, of course, secure second place for BNK as well in the Rise group. So significantly behind D plus Kia, of course, with the lead that they had before they got relegated to Rise.
And who's their next opponent, Wolf? D plus Kia for BNK. It's crazy.
Wow.
Guys, we have the interview ready. I'm going to hand it over to Deer for the translation.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Sierra for the POM interview translation. We are here with Diablo on the side of BNK FureX. So you just got your 9th victory and rose to the sole position of second place in the Rise group. How do you feel? Well, first of all, I don't think we were performing very well, especially last week. I think I'm just really relieved that we're able to win today and get to second place. And following the round 3 match against OK Savings and Brion, you got yet another clean 2-0 victory. And that's a 13 winning streak. So what are your thoughts on that? No, it makes me happy to know that we're on a 13 match winning streak against them. I think our team is quite feisty, and that's probably why we were able to win today. That's right. In game 1, you guys picked Yunara. So it seemed like you guys picked a comp that can set the Yunara up for success. So did you prepare mainly around the Yunara? Yeah, we got some practice with Yunara, and the tempo seemed really good with her. So I think we just really wanted to try it out on stage. So what makes Yunara shine? Maybe something about like the team's impression of her? I feel like all the empowered skills that she has, it actually does remind me of Zeri's kit. And that's how you were able to take so much value in lane, especially with Rakan. So did the Rakan turn out to be a good support for her? Yeah, Yunara, I didn't get that many practice with Yunara, but on stage she did feel really good. So personally, what support champion do you think pairs well with Yunara? I think Lulu and Rakan for sure. That's how you're able to perform so well with Rakan. And in game 2, the Bard kept taking all the kills and was at 4 kills by 20 minutes. So every time Bard got a kill, how did the team react? I think I was just way too focused on the game. And we just really wanted to play well. So rather than, teasing each other or trying to play with a lighthearted mood, we were just all so focused and concentrated in the game. And in game 2, it had so many twists and turns, and it was impossible to predict the outcome. But in the end, you guys came out on top. So, what gave you guys edge to win today? I feel like we were actually not in a very good mental state after, especially last week. And I think during practice, we really wanted to make sure that we can keep a good mental fortitude. And I think today we were just trying our best, and that's what gave us the victory today. And Diablo, you have an aggressive playstyle that may not always be suitable in the flow of the game. So, what are your thoughts on your carry power whenever you're able to pull that off? I feel like I can see my aggressive playstyle as a good thing, and so rather than giving up because the game's not going our way, I think I just try to make sure that I can play it out till the end. And your next opponent is D plus Kia. To become the king of Rise, you must take them down. So what is your mindset? I don't think we were able to beat D plus Kia, not even once. But I believe that I can feel that we're getting better and improving. So we will try our best to take them down this time around. Thank you so much for all your support. And that's the end of the interview with Diablo, and back to the space. Thank you.